Waiting for the stream to start. What's up, everybody? This is Presto,
CorporalNosaj.
and you are listening to episode 105 of the Nintendads podcast. We're talking about the last second spring Nintendo Direct. Today is March 27th, 2025. And in a rare alignment of fates, we're actually covering this Nintendo Direct on the same day that it happened. Look at us.
Check us out.
Look at us go. It doesn't help that we had another episode planned for tonight, and Nintendo decided, I am so convinced that we've been compromised. Our OPSEC is down, and we're not even in a Signal chat. We're just in Facebook Messenger, and we are being spied on by journalists at Nintendo because every time, is that too political? Every time we have an episode planned, we haven't done an episode in a month. Shame on us. Slap. You saw it. Every time, see, we could do it ourselves. We don't even need Congress to do it. We can slap ourselves on the wrist. Every time we have an episode planned, Nintendo
slap ourselves.
Oh yeah, I guess it's
the audio only people.
Every time we have an episode planned, Nintendo like shadow drops a direct. We had like 24 hours notice that they were doing this direct. So here we are.
I mean, truthfully, if you've been listening to the Nintendads long enough, if you're following us, take a shot. This happens to us quite frequently. It's now the biggest running joke of this podcast that if we plan an episode and we are like behind, we're trying to get caught up and like there's a deadline to meet, all of a sudden Nintendo's like, ha! And then just barrel rolls over the top of our schedule.
Barrel rolls. Yeah, it happens. It happens more often than I care to admit.
I would like to find those Nintendad lore folk who have listened to every single episode and have annotated every single moment, and they can like hit Control F and be like, "How many times has Presto said?"
Oh my God, we could theoretically feed all of our episodes into ChatGPT with a transcript and pull facts like that out.
Oh,
not it. I'm not doing that. That sounds like shit work.
Nerdy.
It'd be really fun. It'd be really fun, but I'm not going to be the one to do it.
I will totally do that.
Tonight's episode is going to be pretty. I think we're going to try to keep it pretty short. I don't know. We're not off to a great start for conciseness. What have you been playing, Corporal?
I mean, if you have been listening to our chat during any type of live stream in the past couple days, I have been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves.
Of Monster Hunter. Oh, what is it?
Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
I mean, yes, I have also been playing Monster Hunter. But when Little Red, my son, comes and says, I want to play, what should we play together? Unfortunately, Monster Hunter's not it. So,
yeah, understandable.
A lot of.
You're gonna suck me into this game as soon as
a father-son game. It's a great game to play with, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. I have earned enough galleons. That's the treasure and the coins in this game. I have earned enough galleons that I have now purchased 2 ships. I have purchased a 4-seater ship and a 3-seater ship. So, just saying.
So you're saying I should jump in for the 3-seater sometime?
Yeah.
I would play. You know what? I'm gonna put Sea of Thieves on my Steam. Well, here's the question: what do you play it on Xbox?
I play it on Xbox because I have access to game. But
so if I wanted to play it, could I play on Steam? Yeah, it's got crossplay now, right? Yeah. I am going to put it, remind me at the end of this episode to put it on my Steam wish list, and I will get it when it's on sale. It actually might be on sale right now. I'm not going to check.
Sea of Thieves is cross-platform compatible between PS5, Xbox, and PC.
Nice. Banger. I have been playing Monster Hunter Wilds. I know that's hard to believe. I am not going to publicly share how many hours I have in Monster Hunter Wilds,
Oh,
but
that's okay.
it's a few.
Tri Kingdom and I completely separately, but also at the same time, pulled up Steam and was like, "Hey, do you know how many hours Presto has played this game?" And I was like, "I know how many hours I've not played this game," and we both compared notes, so we both know how many hours you've played.
That's funny. I'm glad someone is keeping score. Marianne, thanks for liking the stream. Yes, I've been playing pretty much exclusively Wilds. I was playing a little Minecraft with the kiddo. There's a new like spring update out. And then my kid is still full on into Animal Crossing. So I've been
Really?
popping on
Okay.
there, sending him little gifts. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Solid. What have you been drinking? What are you sipping on these
I
days,
mean,
Corporal?
I am currently sipping on a Sprite Zero because, trying not to become pre-diabetic is an actual. But
Yes. Usually you're sipping on things with zero flavor, so it's at least a
I'm the can is still sitting here.
Waterloo. Ooh, that looks tasty.
Spiced apple. Yeah. Um, a
Um,
lot of
I have to
water.
give
That's, I
that's
mean,
good.
that's really it.
I have to give credit to Mrs. Presto for this one. She
The
found this. So
hazelnut
my wife,
herself.
La Hazelnut herself, my wife always gets stressed because I have peculiar taste in beer. And when she goes to the store, she's like, "Oh, I'm getting beer. What do you want me to get?" And usually I say something vaguely annoying, like, "Go, give me something interesting, something that looks good." And she's like, I hate you." Um,
Can I
but
tell you? Can I
but then
tell you?
she picks out stuff that I like, so she understands.
I- So you just said that, and I just had a flashback. I leave early in the morning, and sometimes I take Lady Sage with me, and sometimes Sushi Cat, and we're in the car together driving into work, and I drop each other off along the way. Lady Sage goes to Disney, and Sushi Cat goes to school, and then I go to work. Usually along the way, at some point, Lady Sage is like, "What coffee do you want?" And my response every time is, "I feel like," and I will then decide my coffee based off of my feelings. I feel like something cold with a little bit of like sugary whimsicalness to it. Or I'm really feeling something hot and rustic. Or you know what? I really want with a soft top right. And that's how she decides my coffee order.
There's only like a cup. I relate to her. Anyway, my wife picked this out, and it's lovely. It is the what is this? Peach pear peachy punch. Peach pear peachy punch. From Victory. I've never seen this beer before in my life. I think this is a new spring brew from them. It's only 5% alcohol, which if you drink Victory, they make like Golden Monkey and stuff, which is usually like 9%. This is a nice little chilled out 5%, very fruity, very tasty. Highly recommend it. It tastes like you're biting into a fermented peach in a not gross way with every. So, cheers to that. I got my Monster Hunter mug, of course.
Yep.
Um, so let's get into this
Yeah.
this thing.
We've got
So
things to discuss.
let's preface this by saying there is the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct in like 5 days.
Yes.
6 days. So next Wednesday, April 2nd, they're going to be giving us details about the Switch 2. And then yesterday, they're like, "Hey, Nintendo Switch or a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Big note, this will not contain any information on the Switch 2." That's next week.
That's next. Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Well,
Why you do this,
I
Nintendo? Why?
genuinely, and I know that you and I discussed this earlier, and I know that there's a lot of logical reasons why this is not true. But I genuinely feel that at some point they were like, this was all going to be one direct. And then they realized, you know what? We can't do this all in one direct because we don't want to float our direct with all of this other stuff. So we'll have two directs. And they planned it.
That could be. No matter what their thinking is, this is basically the I'll call this like the leftovers direct, because this essentially is talking about the last round of games, I
Mhm.
think, that are going to be for the Switch 1. I think after next Wednesday, any other Nintendo announcements for games are going to be for the Switch 2, unless the Switch 2 is coming out like in the holiday. Then they're probably going to continue to push some new games towards the Switch 1. Every rumor that I have heard about the Switch 2 says that it's going to be like announced and then it's going to come out in May, or it's going to be announced and it's going to come out in June. It's going to be like a very short lead up. Um which I hope is the case. That would be fine by me. But I think, especially given on the contents of this direct, I think this is the last what's left over, the junk drawer, the bottom of the barrel. Not necessarily, well, kind of in quality. Um,
I I
this is
genuinely
also
I generally call
go ahead.
was in my head when I watched this, I generally was like, this is another junk drawer episode.
We've been doing this podcast for 5.5 years,
Yep.
right? We've seen a lot of directs of
Yeah.
varying quality. I feel like I truly, in my heart of hearts, hope this is the last time we sit here and we're like, this is another Nintendo Direct that's sort of like getting like a C plus. Because Nintendo Directs used to be exciting. There used to be Nintendo Directs. We used to be like, oh yes, oh what's gonna go? Oh what's gonna come out? Now you hear, oh Nintendo Direct. All right, how many bullshit indie games are we gonna have to sit through before we get like a morsel of something?
And I love indie
And
games. Most of my money gets thrown at indie games because I like
yes. Oh
the
no, no,
obscure.
no shade, no shade towards indie games. I have more time played in indie games on my Switch than probably first party Nintendo games at this point. So
Yep.
no shade towards indie games. There's great indie games. But Nintendo Directs, for every one really interesting indie game they have, there's two or three other ones that I'm like scratching my head being like, maybe I should make an indie.
I
I
well,
could no,
here's my
that's I don't mean that. I shouldn't say that, because a lot of people put a lot of hard work, but I feel like they're catering to an audience that is so not me and so not anybody that I know.
yeah.
And it's been that way for literally years now, and I'm just ready for a return to form,
And I
I
hate
guess.
to say this, but it has been that way for so many years now that the Nintendo Switch is starting to look like a glorified mobile game console.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I say these things not from a place of I don't like Nintendo anymore, but it's just from a place of frustration because I know Nintendo can do better and I'm ready to see better things
Yeah.
than this direct. That's not to say there's not some things in this direct that I absolutely loved, but we'll get there. So, where do you want to start with this? Because I
Uh,
know we have two sort of parallel
yeah.
sets
And
of notes.
I want to kind of dump my notes in your notes, but unfortunately the mobile app does not pair well, and I I'll
Yeah.
attempt to do this. But
So
I
I basically
good.
wrote my notes of things that I have any sort of opinion.
Okay.
And the first thing, which I
Well,
think this
do you
was one of
want
the
to
first.
go in actual order of the direct? Because my notes were made
Yeah,
in
if
actual order.
that's how your notes are set up, let's do that.
Yeah.
And then when we get to one that's on my list, we can cut over.
Turn the volume off of it.
Cafe.
I can
Are you
actually.
just rewatching it now?
Well, no, I mean, yes, but Edric's Legacy, Erdrick's Legacy. It was the first one that came up on the direct. Very.
I thought it was Dragon Quest. The Dragon Quest
Is that what this is?
HD
Oh yes,
HD 2D.
Edric's Legacy is Dragon Quest. I'm sorry. Yes,
Okay.
Dragon Quest 1 and 2, HD 2D remake. You're right.
HD 2D,
Um,
3D 4D.
my first comment about this is it's visually stunning. It does. I can see the 2D, 3D, HD effect that they've added to this game. It looks beautiful. That's the only
Yes,
comment I
it's
have.
also not new. They've announced I feel like this has been talked about as like a focal point in every direct in like the last few.
Yeah.
So, and it's cool. I'm excited for people who like that series.
The next thing that was announced was No Sleep for Anime Date. And I'll be honest with you, it looks interesting. But then when you actually get to the gameplay of the direct, it turns into a completely different game. And maybe I don't know the IP to like describe this, but it starts off with like a girl lost in space and her oxygen levels are ding and she needs help. And next thing you know, you're a detective that's on the planet Earth who has an artificial intelligence eye who helps you determine the dreams of other people so that you can solve puzzles. I don't
I mean,
know
that
how those two things are the same.
I don't know. I don't know either.
And I'll be honest with you, the next two things that were announced were not interesting to me until we got to Shadow Labyrinth. And that's where
Yes,
I think
Shadow
you're at.
Labyrinth. Shadow Labyrinth is a Pac-Man Metroidvania?
Yes. And
it's a Metroidvania.
The monsters looked very Metroid-like, right?
But then there's like mechs. There's like a mech. Pac-Man turns into a mech.
Well, from what I can tell, the Pac-Man that's on the screen is a robot. It's a robot Pac-Man. And
Yeah.
you interact with him, but then you can meld with him and you can transform with him. And there's two different states. So essentially there's the you, Pac-Man you, and then there's Pac-Man mind.
I feel like this is more like an Evangelion game than Pac-Man, but yeah, that's coming out July 18th. If you're a fan of Pac-Man, the game, you're probably not gonna like this. And if you're a fan of weird Metroidvanias, you probably are gonna like this.
I mean, they straight up said this is a twisted retelling of the
Yeah.
Pac-Man
Oh no,
lore.
it's there's Pac-Man because I remember seeing it.
Yep.
And I'm like, is that Pac-Man? I'm like,
He
no.
makes
And
the
then like
sound and he
and then he
collects the
makes a noise
dots.
and then I'm like, wait, is this licensed? Did somebody at Bandai Namco sign off on this?
Yep.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Shadow Labyrinth,
Pac-Man.
July 18th. So, I mean, sure.
That's a thing, yeah.
The next thing that's on my notes in order is becoming a reoccurring theme in these directs. And I know that I asked for this, but I did not ask for this.
Remasters. Is that what it is?
I asked for rhythm game. I asked for like good, like Guitar Hero level rhythm game.
You better watch out. Listen, you don't want to make rhythm gamers mad at you, okay? I have learned this in my time here on this planet and on the internet. There's like certain fan groups and communities you don't want to make mad because they will get you in weird ways. So rhythm games are all great and they deserve to be respected.
Fate Maker says, "Did you
Patapon.
watch this level?" Hi, Fate. I totally missed.
Hello.
Smell dropped by Presto. Hi.
What's up?
There's apparently a new Rock Band game coming out. I have heard that.
I heard that there's a new Guitar Hero coming out.
I'm ready for this, and that's what I was
I heard
talking
that they're
about when I asked for a rhythm game.
Patapon. This actually looks kind of
Interesting.
crazy. The remakes or remasters, so I guess they've been around, but they were exclusive for. Here's an interesting fact that I just learned. These games were an exclusive for the PlayStation Portable,
Oh,
and now they're on the Switch. Interesting.
that's something.
Interesting. It's almost as if Nintendo is softening up these relationships they have with other developers and publishers for crossplay, or not crossplay, like
Well,
being able to have third-party games on their system.
yeah.
If only they had a system that could run third-party games. Interesting where the little thread leads. But so Patapon rhythm game looks interesting if you like rhythm games and like army, like
Yeah,
troop deployment.
yeah.
I don't know.
The next game to be
The next
announced,
thing
Story of
is
Seasons Grand
so
Bazaar.
I learned a fun fact about Story of Seasons. So do you remember Harvest Moon from back in the day?
Yeah.
So Harvest Moon was made by some developers. I don't know what the name of the studio is,
Okay.
but there was a dispute with the IP Harvest Moon between the developers and the publishers. And whoever published the game ended up getting Harvest Moon as like it's their thing.
Oh.
The studio that made Harvest Moon, all the next games that they made that are basically the next versions of Harvest Moon that would normally be called like Harvest Moon 2,
Okay.
they came up with a different name called Story of Seasons. So all the
Oh.
Story of Seasons games are Harvest Moon games, just not legally allowed to be called Harvest Moon.
When I first saw this Story of Seasons, I was like, this is Stardew Valley with current gen Pokemon graphics.
You have no idea. So I watched this live, and the entire chat during this section is saying 3D Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing Stardew Valley,
Yeah. Yeah.
2.5D Stardew Valley. So that's so funny that you just said that because that is on the nose.
On the nose with what chat was saying live, and I didn't see it live. So there you go.
Yeah. So this is for sure a cozy game. If you like this kinds of games, this looks like a game for you. And this is a remake. This is a remake of a DS game. So cool, great, looks like fun, but a remake. Right after there was a remaster. Okay. Okay.
So,
It's almost as if we're like at the bottom of the junk drawer,
yep.
just
Yep.
pulling everything out.
This next game.
Until bum bum bum.
Yeah. This next game. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm actually excited about this game. But I gotta tell you, my little sushi cat was in the room when this game was announced. The way they announced this game, the way they talked about this game, was very much like, my gosh, got a special ability. You can open the door. My daughter was like, come on.
She's everyone's subconscious
Yeah.
voice. So this is none other than Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And if you did not see the trailer, the theme of this long-awaited thing is Samus gets psychic abilities, which
It's
she
also
uses
first person
to.
shooter Samus.
Yeah, all the Metroid Primes are
Yeah.
first person shooter.
Okay.
But yes, so it's not a Metroid game, it's a Metroid Prime game.
Yes. Yes.
The fabled Metroid Prime 4. Now, maybe it's the YouTube compression because I watched it on YouTube
Yeah.
live. But to me, this looks almost exactly like every other Metroid Prime game that I've seen. This footage could be from the Wii U Metroid Prime. This could be from the Metroid Prime remake or remaster that they had on Switch. There's nothing besides the very obvious like psychic ability thing that tells me this is a brand new Metroid game that's like modernized, because we haven't had a Metroid Prime game in a and you would think that if this is going to be the last big Nintendo game on the Switch, the first big Nintendo game on the Switch 2, that it's going to look like next level. But to me, it just looks like more of the same. And I
I'll be
actually
honest with
got
you.
a little less interested after this trailer.
I
And so were
watched
several other people on our Discord.
this, and the first gut reaction was, "Ooh, this looks cool. Oh, that looks like Halo UI. Okay, that's kind of cool. It also looks like Halo 3 graphics." Like, those were exactly my thoughts.
Have you played a Metroid Prime title before?
Nope.
Ooh. I
But
mean, if you've never played a Metroid Prime game, then you will probably like this a lot.
okay. It looks so much like
Um,
the original Halo series with the UI and the setup and like the movement.
yeah, it was probably developed around the same time. It's been on the shelf that long. So for a lot of people, this is like the crown jewel of the direct. This is the big thing because Metroid Prime 4 has been like teased and not really properly talked about. And like this is the first gameplay trailer that we've gotten, technically. Uh and I was not personally super impressed, but Metroid Prime people are foaming at the mouth at this one. This is definitely not the thing that got my heart all aflutter. There's one game
Oh yeah.
from this direct that I actually care about, that I am 1,000% playing, and we will get to it probably near the end because
The
yeah.
next game that was announced was something that I had to comment on because of the household that I live in. But I'm sorry. Coffee shop Disney villains, where you have a coffee shop, but it got sucked into a potions making shop, and now you make potions for the Disney villains. Like, I, it's very particular. Like,
Listen,
I don't know what
you're
positive
you're
thing to
talking
say
you're
about this.
talking a lot of smack on this game for a person who is 100% gonna have this on at least one system in their house. So I
That's,
don't want to make a joke about calling the kettle black, but I think I have to,
I mean,
given the theme.
I am the person who played Coffee Talk when that game came out. So
Yes.
I
Do you get to form relationships? Is this like, does this have any dating sim DNA with the Disney villains? Because now we're talking about something different
I
for
was
a
about to
different
say,
group of
if I
people.
gets to date Ursula, there's that's just a little weird. Although I am
What
also
is with UNC women?
I
Nicola, Ursula, I'm seeing a pattern here.
I am also the same person who played Boyfriend Dungeon. So
Yes. So I'm just gonna say, let's put a tag here. So when you're in the future streaming Disney Villains Cursed Cafe,
okay.
we have something to look back on, and we go, it was then Corporal knew. He fuck. More rhythm games. War Groove Makers.
That
What is this? War Groove. Is this? Yeah. No, Witchbrook is the next
Witchbrook
one.
is the next one. Yeah. Um,
Now this one does look kind of cool.
it does. It does. I'll be honest with you. There is one aspect of this game that really like stuck out to me, And while the graphics of this game are not all that amazing, I almost feel like I should have the game, the direct up on the screen so you guys can see. Um, but what makes this interesting to me was that you can have 4-player co-op in the game together.
I noticed that too. That's when I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. That's a choice. I like that. I respect it."
And most time these types of games, like even Stardew Valley, it took them forever to include co-op in Stardew Valley. And like to have that co-op option, this type of game, like harkens back to like that COVID couch co-op time. So like I'm okay with that.
I think during COVID, a lot of people formed those habits
Yeah.
of playing co-op games with either people remotely or
Particularly
like in their
cozy
same
co-op games,
household.
I think.
Yeah, I feel like that was a big moment for cozy co-op, and a lot of those tendencies have stuck, and we've seen that in the gaming industry based on how many damn cozy games are out now. It was like everybody was locked up, everybody got Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing sold millions and millions in copies, and everybody else went like this. Huh? Wait, cozy? What's a cozy
You can
game?
make money on cozy games? What?
Yeah. It's like, wait, and you can make cozy games look like they were like a coloring book graphics?
You wanna drop down memory lane real quick as we're 30 minutes in. You remember one of the big collab posts that you, me, and Nick Yeti made during that time
Was it the photos of what we were each doing on lockdown?
on lockdown? And Yeti was building a house, and I was trying to play this game, and like you
Oh,
were.
that's not the one I remember.
Oh, okay. There's
I
that other
remember a
one.
different one. Someone, if you're listening to this episode or watching it, just scroll back through our Instagram,
Oh,
or our Facebook. Go to the photos and
yeah.
scroll back until you see something that stands out.
From the COVID era. So,
um,
Salamander. I'm gonna skip
Salamander.
ahead to a couple things and just jump right to Salamander. Salamander, and uh, I'll be honest with you. I I feel like I just turned off Home Alone on the Sega Genesis. Had to reach to the back shelf and move Echo the Dolphin out of the way, and thought about
Yes.
grabbing this game, and then decided I'd rather just play Chrono Trigger.
This looks stressful.
Yeah, it does.
You're talking now, Salamander. This is the spaceship game, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Gargados Origins, and it
Gradius. Yes.
Radius Origins, and
Yeah.
it comes with the bundle pack of Salamander, Salamander 2, and the new remade game that they're announcing along with this bundle pack. Yeah.
Yeah. Life Force.
So,
I mean, that's good if you like that game, Gradius.
and back
40
to the
year
yeah,
40-year anniversary.
yep,
What? Ugh, so
so old.
speaking of old, the eternal life of Goldman. That's another choice. People are making some choices
Choices.
today.
Yep.
This actually looks mildly interesting. It's like cell shaded, uh, hand drawn, like side scroller platformer. It has the Scrooge McDuck, cane pogo bounce from the old DuckTales game.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yep.
And I mean, the more because I'm watching the trailer again on my other monitor, and it's got a lot of personality, and you upgrade your character by upgrading parts of your cane because you're an
Kane.
old man.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is cool. I think this is one of the more interesting titles of this direct. It's not the one.
Tri
It's
Kingdom
not
is
the one.
just blowing up our chat.
It's not the one that I'm excited about.
Please tell
But
me
this is
that the
like a less
next one,
painful version.
the next game on this list, the Rift of Necrodancer, is the one that you're excited about.
No, sadly, no. Rift of the Necrodancer is not, even
Talk about
though.
another rhythm game.
There you
It
go. I mean, what's the original game?
it looks
Something of
good.
the Necrodancer.
It definitely looks like interesting. The art style is really cool. It's
You get a little Scott Pilgrim bass
yeah,
guitar vibe in there. I dig it. Um, Tamagotchis are still a thing
yeah,
somehow for
yes,
someone out there.
they are.
Tamagotchi Plaza. Yes, it has a game. It's coming out in June. It's you upgrade the shops. You shop at the shops until the shops
Are shoppable.
upgrade. Yeah.
All
So
right.
that's a thing.
So this is a
Hold
game.
on. Before we move to wait, what are you about to talk about?
CA.
Okay, yes, ZA.
So I just want to let everybody understand that I just had to shovel and my back hurts because I've had to shovel this deep into the direct to get to this point. And the fact that I found this makes me feel like an old timer with a metal detector out there on the beach trying to find the one good thing that's left in the sand. And that makes me feel like this is not a good thing, but I'm going to pretend like it is. Pokemon Legends ZA was announced not too long
It
ago.
wasn't announced.
No,
It
no,
was yeah, it was
it was
announced.
not too long ago. And when it was announced, I was actually critical of the name, but excited for the gameplay. We got a longer trailer of this game, and it looks interesting. It's a continuation of the region that where we were previously in. It was a specific town that we're going to that wah, 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 epic fail. It was a town that was mentioned in the prior game, so it's still close. That's still connected to what we've already played in. Uh, like most Pokemon games that are out now, there's some kind of gimmick, which is like the Gigantor Pokemon or the crystallized Pokemon or what have you. So I immediately wanted to know what the gimmick was, and it didn't really seem like there was in your face gimmick. But Preston, go ahead and talk about this because I want
Yes.
to know your opinion.
So this game after Scarlet and Violet, there was like a large public outcrying of people being like, Game Freak, please just ask for help.
Yeah,
If this is your best, if you're on a tight budget and there's like other projects, we get that a game or two cannot look as good as it should look. But this is the big mainline game,
yep.
the first true open world Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, and it looked not great. I would dare say it looked bad. It's one of the worst first party games in terms of performance on the Switch. Like it's rough. I know because I when Pokemon uh TCG Pocket came out, I got really into Pokemon with my son and I tried to go back and play Scarlet and I was like, "Oh man, this is rough. This is more rough than I remember." So, Pokemon ZA is going to be the last Pokemon game on the Switch, the first Pokemon game on the Switch too. So maybe they're pushing the boundaries. Maybe they're really making it look good. Maybe it looks like it was done in Microsoft Paint again. Because and technically this is not a mainline game, right? This is Pokemon Legends, the first one, Pokemon Legends Arceus. That was the first one. This is a different one. This isn't a mainline game. It's got one city that you're in. with wild zones to catch wild Pokemon.
So that was
And
my big thing. We went from having an open world game available to us in Pokemon Scarlet, and then we had what was the game where we had the wild area that was in the middle of the city? You had
Sword and Shield.
Sword and
We are
Shield.
back. We are back to Sword and Shield.
Back to Sword and Shield, yes. Where there's a wild zone. Designated
Yes.
hunting zones.
Yes. By order of the guild. So there are Pokemon that you can catch outside of these wild zones, but this game's gimmick is the ZA Royale, where during the day it's all, nice, everything. But at night, the entire city becomes a battle royale. And you go out in the street and just fight whoever you run into. And your character starts at rank Z, and then as you rank up, your goal is to get to rank A, which is why I think it's called ZA. So that's the gimmick, is that there's like a day-night cycle for how you play the game. By day, you're going to do your traditional story quests and catching Pokemon, and by night, you are going to participate in violence with every single person on the street.
Can I just tell you, looking
And
at
it's gonna run at like 12 and a half frames.
I was just about to say, looking at this trailer, it doesn't look like they've improved the graphics at all.
No, it looks like Scarlet Violet DLC.
Yeah.
If you showed it to me again, I would be like, "Oh, it's Scarlet Violet," or maybe it's older than Scarlet Violet because it doesn't. I don't see any outdoor elements. It's just all big square buildings.
It's yeah, I genuinely have deeper hope for the Pokemon franchise. They could do so much more, and they continue to deliver us in this pocket that where Pokemon belong. So,
My hope is that the next mainline game that has to be in development right now is going to be exclusively for the Switch too, and the training weights are going to be off finally. Game Freak has had to make 2 mainline games and a bunch of other stuff for the Switch running on a glorified mobile device like schematics.
yeah.
Now they finally have some breathing room. Can they do it? If the new mainline game on the Switch 2 still looks like ass, I'm giving up hope
Yeah.
on there ever being, like, I'm just gonna sell all my Pokemon games and buy booster packs for the card game because
I
that's where it's
liked
at now.
Sword and Shield. I genuinely liked Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield was good, and it was also a big jump forward
Yep.
in the series overall.
But we have
And
yet
that
to
is a
have
little rough, but it was okay. But we haven't really gotten that far from Sword and Shield, like, besides being open world at the cost of like 90% of the polygons that the game should have.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm at the point of the direct. Emotionally, when I watched it, I got to this point and I'm like, okay, we need to start skipping to the end. I don't care about this. The next game that shows up on this list is genuinely something that's going to give me nightmares, so I don't even want to look at it.
What is it? Hold on. I need to bring up
Haven
the
Groove.
Oh, yes.
No.
Rhythm Paradise. This is the game.
No.
No, I'm kidding. This is it. So
I was about to like quit on you.
Rhythm Heaven is a beloved franchise that has not gotten a new game in a long time. So because there were a character from the older version of this game was like a fan favorite for making it into Super Smash Brothers, and it didn't because there's not enough people who know or care about this game. But this is the game that I did make a note in my mind, not in the actual notes, that this would be a game that I think my son would love because it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird, and it's got such a quirky sense of humor, and I feel like I'm gonna show him this trailer, and he's gonna be like, "Dad, please, I'll buy it with my own money."
Yeah.
I don't know if the rhythm element is gonna, like, he's gonna understand that it's a rhythm game, or he even understands what a rhythm game is, but he's gonna look at the weirdness of this game, and a lot of kids are, I think, and they're gonna
Yeah.
be like, yes. And the parents are gonna go, well, this is actually a beloved franchise that has it, and then they're gonna be like, no, stop. I
No.
don't care. Funny character, fall down on face, want, bye.
Do you want to cover this next thing here, or do you want to push it to the end?
Let's push it.
Okay.
Let's push it because this is a whole separate conversation.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're on the same page.
Yes.
Um yeah,
High
also
Life?
I'm looking at the timestamps for each one of these sections, and Metroid Prime 4 so far is the one game that has taken up the most amount of screen time. This
As it
this
should be.
this next thing that we're talking about skipping looks like it might be the next longest thing besides Pokemon.
I think I think the thing that we're skipping, we're talking about the virtual game, guy.
Yes. Yeah.
We're gonna get through the rest of the games, and then we're gonna talk about this.
Okay.
Because I think this is the not the thing that I'm excited about, but definitely the most important thing. I almost think that this direct was made around this. That
Okay.
they're like, we need to announce this a bunch of but with mixed in with other stuff, so it doesn't seem like
Yeah.
we're just sticking our leg out and tripping everyone.
Yeah.
We need to yawn first and then do it. Anyway, we
So the next section after that is just rapid fire of a bunch of other games.
yes,
There's
I'm
only
gonna go through them because I know some of them.
there's only one game in this entire list that I know and I have played. So when you get to it, I'll be like, that's it.
Okay, High on Life
That's
is
it.
getting ported to the Switch. Getting imported to the Switch. It's funny, I don't know how it's gonna run because it's a
Have you
pretty
played High
high
on Life?
fidelity game. I have not.
It is a little
It's a
vulgar.
it's very vulgar. It's like
Yeah.
Rick and Morty the video game,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
I've seen enough of it that I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, I've beaten it. It's on the Xbox. It's a fun game. It's good. You're right. There's a lot of visual elements. It kind of reminds me of Platoon when you're in the city, not playing the game, but when you're in the
Yeah, I
hub.
can see that.
It's like a lot of that. A lot of things happening around you all the time. Plus, there's
Yeah. So, yeah, there's Rapid Fire, there's Star Overdrive, which is like a sci-fi game, Wandering Village, which is like a sci-fi cozy game. King of Meat looks kind of fun. It's like a hack and slash co-op game. Lose Lagoon is sort of
yep,
like a little world explorer thing. Um, Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time is like a fun little, I think, like 3D exploration slice of life slash, I don't know. It's like Animal Crossing with combat mixed with Zelda. Um, Frontier Saga or Saga Frontier got a remaster. Monument Valley is heading to the Switch. Everybody Golfs is getting a new Switch game. Uh, did I miss any?
nope.
And then it was time for the game that I am actually legitimately excited about.
Okay, I'll allow you to have this now. As the
I'll allow you to
Nintendads,
have
as the Nintendads, we have partnered this particular developer a lot. We have a
Yes.
great partnership with them. I
Yes.
love them. The content that they make is everything that I have asked for. I have one negative thing to say, and it just feels like it's a reskin of something they've already done.
I understand. I understand. I think it's in the same engine.
Okay.
So we are talking about Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Now, when I'm watching a direct and I see that little .emu sign
It's
come
enough.
up,
It's
I
enough.
know I'm on board.
Yeah.
I already know that it's a game that I'm going to get
Yep.
and that I'm going to enjoy. This is Marvel Cosmic Invasion is a 2D side scroller beat 'em up that looks very similar to Corporal's point to the recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It's got a lot of the
Yes.
same effects, looks like it has the same physics. I would be amazed if it was not built on the same engine. However, that's said,
However.
and that's not necessarily said as a bad thing because
No.
TMNT was tight.
Yeah.
Like that's my favorite beat 'em up game next to Streets of Rage 4.
Streets of Rage 4 is chef's kiss.
Is yes. Streets of Rage 5, please. But only if Emu makes it. And Tribute Games. Tribute Games does a lot of the gameplay and mechanics. So, but Marvel Cosmic Invasion is you pick 2 Marvel characters. Each player picks 2 Marvel characters.
Single player picks 2 Marvel
Yes.
characters. Yep.
Yes. And you can swap between them, which is great, but it looks to me like there's like an assist system because there are plenty of times where it looks like there's a single player and they call their second character on screen, but then they don't switch characters. And that is such a Marvel thing to do.
Yeah.
And I love it. I just love it that it's in there. It's like the Marvel versus Capcom assist system in a beat 'em up, which
You're
is
right.
like
So I
a dream.
just watched player 1 and then a second player come out of player 1 without a player identifier, and it helps them fight. So like it was Storm and then somebody else came out of Storm.
Yeah. See,
It's
look.
definitely looks good. I
You
like
heard it
the
here
art
first.
style. I like the variety of characters that they have access to.
Yes.
Right?
And you know there's gonna be hidden characters in this game. They got
That
old
emu
school
has some
Wolverine.
excellent level design.
Oh,
Like,
I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this. But you know what I'm not excited for? Holiday 2025.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
Oh,
that.
it's too long.
I will tell you that we need to reach out to Emu.
Oh, 100%,
Be
100%.
like, hey, we're your favorite
In
Nintendads.
like 6 months.
I'll send him an email tomorrow. Watch me.
Oh. Yes, this looks amazing. We
Let
are
me
definitely
sweaty
gonna
test this, please.
Yes. Yes. I don't know if that's how I would phrase it, but yes. I want to play this game. Oh, it looks so good. I'm watching the trailer again. Venom.
Tomodachi. Tomodachi life. Living the dream.
So this is another like long time series that's like weird and Japanese, but a lot of people really like.
Guess I just don't get it.
It's funny. It's like a cozy game, but everybody has like Microsoft Sam text to speech voices, and I love that. Like the trailer is so weird. Like the thumbnail of the trailer is like there's a woman and she's like waving to her friend and her
It's a
friend's in the
monster.
distance and she's coming towards her and it looks like she's getting bigger because she's getting closer, but then actually she's just like 10 times the size of a normal person and it's like gets in real close and then in the shitty 1999 text to speech voice says like, "Did you want to talk to me?" And that I don't know why that's my kind of weird.
The way you said that, and now that I like play it back in my head, what was the purple monkey?
Oh, Bonzi Buddy.
Bonzi Buddy.
Don't say his name 3 times or else the advertisements will pre-install it on your system. Bonzi Buddy. Hello, I am Bonzi Buddy. Hello. How do I uninstall you? You cannot.
It's like Clippy, but outside of Microsoft.
Yes. Oh, it's horrifying. It's a waking nightmare. But it's my kind of I like it. I like it. Now one more thing, and then we'll circle back to the virtual games.
Okay.
Remember one time we thought this was gonna be a short episode? That was funny.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Today app.
So what do
Give
you
me
think
your
of this?
thoughts.
I know what my thoughts are. Do you want me to give them
This
to you?
Yes, I will say though, this is to me, this is laying the groundwork for Switch 2 stuff.
Yes.
That's all this is. That's the only reason we're getting it. And I mean, that's a good reason, but like,
You know what I think it is?
what do you think it is?
I think it is bred out of laziness. I
Really?
think Nintendo is tired of doing these directs for little bits of information because they don't have really a whole lot to do. So what they've done is they've
Yes.
taken it and they've turned it into an app that they can spoon feed you a little bit at a time. And
We're tired of doing these bullshit directs, and you're tired of seeing them. Here, take this. Look, Shigeru Miyamoto is telling you to download this shit. Do it. And they know, and you know what? I'm downloading it right now because Shigeru Miyamoto told me to. That's how it's going to be from now on, I
that
guess.
needs to be clipped. Like,
Oh my
seriously.
God.
But in all honesty, like, there it is. You
There it
download
is.
it. They're tired of reaching out to media outlets to share their news, so they've just told all of their media outlets, "Hey, look, just download our app and you'll get our news right there, and then you can share it." And
There it is. It's telling me what day it is. We're off to a good start.
and truthfully, like, I also think it's just another reason for them to grab metadata from everybody to see who's really interested in what we have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not hating on it. Like I'll
It's
download it
funny.
myself, but
To me, it's funny because the other thing is this, and this is like a super stretch. But so who introduces this is Shigeru Miyamoto, right?
yeah.
This official trailer thing. Maybe are these on all of them? Yeah, it's on all of them. Just though with this, the Nintendo Today, Shigeru Miyamoto official trailer, this suddenly makes me remember that there is a second Mario movie in development.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wonder if I wonder if that approach is why this Nintendo Today thing is coming about. Because now Nintendo has theme parks, they have movies, they have a shitload of merchandise and stuff that they specifically make available depending on what level of Nintendo membership you have. You know,
Like the
there's all
shoes and the
the
pants and
retro
the
controllers,
jackets.
yeah.
Yep.
So I wonder if this is part of their overall broader strategy to do more than video games as much as they can.
I'm going
Because
to
that's, to me, a
I'm
lot
going to
of that
say
is going to
this,
be funneled through
and
this.
it's going to be slightly scary.
Uh-oh.
They are becoming their
No,
own
don't say it. Don't. I mean, continue, but I know what you're going to say. If it's just continue.
They're becoming their own twisted version of Disney. They're going to
God,
build their
I
entire
knew it.
ecosystem
I knew
around
that I
Nintendo.
knew that's what you were going to say. They can't become Disney. They have a Disney game in the direct.
I mean, sure, they'll just consume it if they can. They never will,
Japanese
but
Disney. That sounds horrifying. Bleach in my brain. Anyway,
so
now
let's go back to the one true thing that was buried in this trailer that I think has the biggest impact for Nintendo fans across the entire ecosystem.
Yes. Let's.
And we're talking
Virtual
about
game cards.
virtual game cards. Yes.
So, if you haven't watched it, we're going to explain it, and it's going to sound like we're explaining it poorly
Nope.
and that we're making it sound confusing.
We're not.
But it is confusing. It's a very Nintendo thing to do. Nintendo looked at how digital games are treated on every platform universally, and they said, "You know what? Let's make it weird."
They did one better. They created a problem and then said, this problem exists so that we can provide you this unnecessary solution.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So, how do you want to break this apart? Because this is ridiculous,
So
and I've got
so
opinions,
I
and we're
do I
already an
do
hour
see
in.
I do see instances where this is not the worst thing. So this is how, from what I understand, it's going to work. You're going to buy a digital game digitally, right? As one does, and you're going to get a virtual game card. It's going to be like it's just going to be a thing in your system. It's a virtual game card, and these virtual game cards you can pass between switches that you own or switches that are on your family Nintendo service online account. So if Corporal, you have two switches, right?
Yep, I've got
You
the
have
upstairs switch and the downstairs switch.
yeah, they're both your switches under your account. You are
Correct.
now you can pass this digital virtual game card between your two switches.
So, in
Why
other
would you want to do
words,
that when they already can both download it?
yep.
I'm not sure.
So if
But
I have my profile installed on Switch upstairs, and I also have my profile installed on Switch downstairs, and those profiles are linked to the internet and therefore registered to these two devices, I can download any game that I purchase on both Switches. And anyone who is using my Switch, let's say my wife or my son or my daughter, all happen to have their own individual accounts on either one of these Switches, they can also play the game that is downloaded from my account. So I don't see the value in this whatsoever, but there's a
the
reason this exists.
value
There's a reason this exists. Go on.
the value is if you have multiple people in your house with multiple switches and multiple their own Nintendo accounts that are on your family plan. So say you have kids that are a little bit older, they don't want to be on their mom and dad's account. They want their V-Bucks. They want to have their Switch with their stuff on it. Okay. I have a nephew who has his own Switch, but they don't have a main Switch. So I guess that's a bad example. But so you have an older kid, you get a game, and they're like, "Oh, dad, can I try that game?" Normally, this is not possible. You cannot share it with them. They have their own Switch in their own account.
You either need
Now
to
you are
lend them your Switch or you need to buy
yeah,
the game again.
yeah. So now this allows that. Also, I am on a Switch family plan with no family members. Don't tell Nintendo. But I am on a family plan with a couple of friends, and we all enjoy the benefits of Nintendo Switch Online Enhanced for a much lower price than if you were to get it yourself. Now we too can share virtual game cards. However, there's a catch. To exchange said game cards, the physical switches have to be on the same home network when you give the virtual game.
Yes.
And
You
that's how this is preventing me and my friend now having a free shared library.
which is
However, Nintendo doesn't know about VPN, I don't think, because that could that I mean, this is going to be out for a week and people are going to be like, "Here's the settings to change if you want to, be in the same room as your friend 200 miles away."
There's only one scenario that I could possibly think of, and it happens to fit for me, where this is beneficial. My son lives at his mother's house during some times, and he lives at my house during some times. He takes his Switch with him where he goes. He purchases games on his Switch for his Switch, regardless where he's at. I could buy a game and share it with him while he's at his mom's house, and he can play it for that 2-week trial period that he has access to the game. And maybe he just wants to try the game, but he doesn't actually wants to purchase the game. And I don't want to purchase the game twice, and his mother doesn't want to purchase the game. So therefore, this could be an option that makes sense. But I don't see a scenario where this is beneficial unless you're in that situation.
Yeah, it's pretty niche. I think again, the theme in most things in this direct is that this is laying groundwork for the Switch 2, because this is they say somewhere in this trailer that this is going to apply into and including the Switch 2.
Yep.
So when little Johnny has his Switch 2 with no games on it, people in his family plan can say, "Oh, here, the virtual game thing. Yeah, here, play this for 2 weeks. Then you got to buy it yourself, Johnny."
Yeah.
So the other thing that is slightly concerning, and it's not, they haven't given any indication that they're going to do this, but this does put them in a position to do so, is they can down the line change it so that if you have 2 Switches, you can only have your virtual games on 1 Switch at a time.
Yep.
Because I went on Reddit, because I was like, this surely has implications that I am not gonna think of,
Well,
because
even in the
I'm not on a
trailer,
real
it was
family
like,
plan.
take this virtual game from this system and move it over to this system. So this system can play it, but this system can't because it's been loaned over here.
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of people say, I have 2 Switch systems like you.
Mm-hmm.
I bought Monster Hunter Rise to play with my wife. Imagine that. Imagine how good life could be if that was your life, that you could play Monster Hunter Rise with your wife. Anyway, this lucky person said they got Monster Hunter Rise. They have 2 Switches. The 2 Switches were both downloaded Monster Hunter Rise because it's the same account, and they could play together, like,
He plays through
on the
her
different
account
Switches.
and he plays through his
Cool.
account. Yeah.
That's cool. With this new system,
That
if
can't happen.
Nintendo says we're phasing out the old way and we're just moving to virtual game cards, now they can't do that without buying the game twice. And I
Yeah.
hate to be cynical, but if there's ever a situation where a big company can make a choice that will directly result in people making more purchases out of convenience, they're 9 times out of 10 going to do that.
Yeah.
And I really hope that that's not the case,
There's
but
been a
it
lot of
sure could
times
be.
where I have my Switch downstairs so that I can play Stardew Valley on my screen, can play Stardew Valley on her screen, and I don't have to deal with the split screen thing on the TV.
Yeah. You sound like such a boomer. I don't have to deal with the split screen. No, but I mean, that's true, but hopefully it doesn't go away. I think that would suck. I think that would be kind of slimy.
Yeah.
But for now, let's just take it at face value and say, cool, something I'm probably not going to use, but maybe I could under the right circumstances. Also, if you want to play a Switch game for 2 weeks, just go to your local library. How many
Yeah.
times we got to tell you?
The
How many
local
times we got to tell you
library
about this? So
people.
that's the big controversial thing. What are you? I mean, I feel like it's a throwaway of a side quest asking you what you're most excited about from this direct, because I know it's also Marvel Cosmic Invasion. What else could it be?
Um, because I've never played a Metroid Prime game, I'm now going to look at other Metroid Prime prior games and see if it's something I want to invest in.
There's Metroid Prime. There's Metroid Prime Remaster on the Switch, and I guarantee you, it's gonna go on sale for people like you who have never played a Metroid Prime game and looks at the shiny new thing and wants it and is like, you know what? I'm going to see about that other Metroid Prime game. Huh? Oh, it's on sale. Isn't that a funny coincidence? So it might be on sale. You know what? I'm going to check. I'm going to check in real time
So
right now.
I'm excited about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I would like to see it.
I'm still on the fence about it. If it comes out and there's like nothing out and for some reason I'm not playing Monster Hunter, then maybe.
Can I tell you what I feel like I am obligated to purchase, but I don't want to?
Pokemon.
Yep.
Yeah. That's all you. That's all you. I don't need any of that. I'm good. I am not. I'm going to let you handle that like the Pokemon fan that you
Lady
are.
Sage beat the heck out of Sword and Shield and Arceus. And I feel like I enjoyed playing Sword and Shield so much that I probably should give this a chance.
Arceus was good.
Yeah.
I think I liked Arceus more than Scarlet and Violet. Even though Scarlet and Violet is the true open world game, I think Legends Arceus was overall better. Let's see. Metroid Prime remastered. Let's see. Digital, not on sale. $40. Not on sale though.
Not gonna get it.
It's gonna go on sale. It's gonna go on sale.
$15 is my limit. I was willing to spend $15. If I don't have it's not $15, I'm not doing it.
I don't think it's going down to 15 from 40.
Especially now that they've already announced the next game. No.
It'll be 15% off. That's my prediction. Is that still too steep? You're still not about it?
Not doing it.
Would you here's something crazy. Do you remember the game Croc?
Sounds familiar.
Croc. I had it on PlayStation 1 and it was a crocodile and he rescued like these little fur balls. And he said kersplat when he swung his tail.
Yeah.
It just got a HD remake and it's coming out on the 2nd of April.
Croc was like somebody else's twisted dream of Crash Bandicoot.
Yes. Well, I think it was more like Spyro, but sure.
Sure. Same thing.
Now, here's the thing. Would you play a game that is on sale for 75% off, bringing it to $9.99? It is in a franchise that has been around for 20 years, and it is considered by most of the fan base to be one of the better games in that franchise. And there's been like at least 15 games in this series, and this is largely considered to be one of the best ones, if not the best one. Would you be interested in playing such a game?
Yes.
Because it's a game that we could play together. It's on the Switch. Okay. And if you got it, I would 1,000% play it with you.
What is it?
You have to commit. You have to commit to that. You're
100 hours.
It's $10.
Is this a Monster Hunter game?
I don't know. Is it?
I think it is.
Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, which has the most monsters of any Monster Hunter game. It's got the most hunts out of any other game. Is on sale for $9.99.
Good.
Do you know how many people are getting into this game because they've played Wilds and they've done everything there is to do in Wilds, and then Capcom says, "Oh, one of our best games, that's $10 for you. For you, $10." I might buy it. I've put off buying it for so long.
Yeah, you have.
Hero has asked me to play this multiple times. It's a hard game.
I bet. I
don't know. We'll see.
All right, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. Download.
Thanks, everybody. We will be back. What'd you say?
I said download Sea of Thieves.
Download Sea of Thieves today. Use #Corporal. Check out. Oh, I do need to put that. Thank you for reminding me at the end of the episode. Good,
Like I
good
said,
one. We are going to be back on
$39
Sunday.
on Steam.
$39. Oh, that price sounds so familiar.
Yeah,
What were we just talking about? Oh, yeah, Metroid Prime?
yeah.
Huh?
Not buying $30. I might buy it for you though.
I mean, I'm obligated to play games that are purchased for me. That's just how I got roped into Civ.
Yeah,
Friggin' 6.
did.
I did.
Like a trooper, you played it.
We'll be back on Sunday with our Monster Hunter Wilds review in progress. We're going to talk about all the Wilds things. We're going to talk about title update 1, and you're going to be there, right?
Yeah.
Right, guys? Right? Chat?
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Have a lovely weekend. Tomorrow's Friday, so enjoy it.
Peace.